Cool.
Bikini Bodhi added me too.
Because you're super cool.
Because I'm super awesome.
All right. We're live, boys and girls. Hi, everybody. So, just so you know, we are doing a live admin chat right now. I have me, Shae, Wicked. We also have Rachel Boo. Hi. And we have Rustin. So, today we're going to talk about like all the things, all the stuffs. I plan on getting to like the tech side of things, peripherals, what you need in order to play the game, all those questions that we get about does this work? Will this run Siege? We're gonna get to that. We also have the new operators. That one I'm really excited for. And the new map. And then also some of the stuff. So me and Rachel have been playing a bunch together. Recently, Maddie has been on a different game. And so
it's a good game. It's good.
So we are going to talk about like some of the stuff we've seen in the TTS gameplay for you console players that haven't had a chance to really play them yet, and kind of show you what we have seen as far as how those ops have been played and utilized. And some of the stuff has been pretty surprising to me, honestly. So I'm really excited to get to it. Make sure you comment below and let us know what questions you have, and we will definitely answer them as best we can. Again, none of us are pros, not even close. And well, Rachel's a pro. She's got us 2.0. And yeah, so let's get started. I wanted to go over the tech side of things first because that seems to be the most important aspect of all of this. And a lot of people want to know what can run Siege, what can't run Siege, all of that stuff. So let's get into that. I know that there's a bunch of hate on pre-builds. Pre-builds aren't bad. If you're first starting on PC, I don't think a pre-build is bad. Rachel, did you start on a pre-build?
I did not, but I don't think they're bad.
You elitist!
I did.
That's just because I have access to someone who could build me stuff.
Right. So if you don't have access to that stuff, like a pre-build's not a bad way to go. Just make sure what's inside that pre-build is worth it, because they'll give you it'll seem like it's a really good graphics card. We'll talk about like graphics cards and what SSD does and how much memory you need and all of that stuff. We'll discuss all of that stuff, but it'll have a really good graphics card and then absolutely no memory, which is not going to help you. You're going to lag. You're not going to get the frames you want.
I think what we should let everybody know is what no one seems. Whenever anyone asks that question, they don't really know what they're looking for. They're just saying, "Here's a bunch of parts. Can this run it?" Right. But that's not what you want to look for. What you want to look for is you can Google this, and not only for Rainbow Six Siege, but any game that you want to play. Google works great. You just type in spec requirements X game, and it'll actually bring you to that game's website. So like for Rainbow, I just did that here, and right now min specs.
But that's also minimum. That's going to give you at least 40 frames. You don't want that. You're not going to be able to kill anybody with 40 frames. It's not going to happen.
This is just minimum. I mean, you can go. Here,
what is the min? What is the min? I'm excited. I want to see this.
Well, min spec right now.
Really garbage.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. It's Core i3 at 3.3 gigahertz. Now we'll talk about that.
Nope, not gonna work.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, hold on.
Yeah.
Now, before she says i3s don't work, i3s you can actually game on. They have i3s that beat out old i7s. So
really?
there's lots of different things you can find.
Learn something new every day.
But recommended spec requirements, which, for example, my PC that I run beats these requirements out of the water here. But it's looking for an i5 or better on the Intel side. That's 3.3 gigahertz or better.
So that's your processor. When they say, "Oh, what's your processor?" You're looking at like i5, i7. And the numbers behind that, so if you have like a 7700 or a K, that's how fast that processor works. So, like I think if you're going to be gaming and streaming,
that's the model number.
But it also has to do with speed. It's also the
I
speed of the
might be getting
processor.
these things mixed up because I don't know everything here myself.
So
too,
like if you have an i7
don't judge me too.
8700K, the speed of the processor is a little bit faster, so you can do stuff like stream and play Siege, you know?
Right. So you want to be the biggest thing you want to look for is the gigahertz that it runs at.
Mm-hmm.
So like it requires 3.3 gigahertz or better. The AMD side requires 2.6 gigahertz or better.
Don't
And
get
that's
AMD.
the no, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
The thing about AMD is great. It's really good priced, but it's just not as competitive as Intel and Nvidia, and it's just not as well known. But it is well priced. So if you're trying to go budget build, you could definitely start looking at the
I'd agree
AMD
with that.
side of
I'd
I
agree
mean,
with that.
I've seen. So while we're doing that too, I just found an AMD, not a pre-built. It was a build kit. So it was this website, wonderful website called Newegg. You just go on
Everybody knows
Newegg.com,
Newegg?
and it's like blam. Here's a set of parts, and it put all the parts together. I was looking at an AMD build, everything you need to build plus the toolkit to build it, which they give you for free. It was $700, and I had a build that was equivalent to having an i7 and a 1080 graphics card, and it was the specs.
I have to say that I am an Nvidia. I'm
That's fine.
an
That's
Nvidia elitist.
But
I
you're
am
a
an
crazy person.
Intel elitist.
Nothing wrong with being an elitist. Listen, I'm an iPhone elitist, and iPhones suck. And
Oh,
I say
iPhone
that
elitist.
much.
iPhone elitist. Okay, so as far as graphics cards
Brownie
go,
points down.
as far as
Yes.
graphics cards
Anyways,
go,
yes.
the higher the number, the better the graphics card. So if it's a
Not
960,
always.
hear me out. If it's a 960, it's not going to be as good as a 1080. Get it? You see where I'm going
Right.
here?
Now,
they also have like the 2070, and then they have the 2080 now. Those are the
which are
newer
unnecessary.
ones,
You don't
right?
need that.
Unless you are running 7 screens and you know everything you want at ultimate, and you want to stream, and you want to 10. I run on a 1060. I know a bunch of people who run on 1070s. There's a lot of people who run on 1080s.
Right.
I run on 1060 and still am able to stream. And I get pretty
Absolutely.
good frames. I have no problems. If I'm not streaming, I get between 120, 130. If I am streaming or recording, I get between 90, 80, 90 to 100, 110 ish. And that's on a 1060, a NVIDIA 1060.
Yeah.
It's not
This is all
overclocked or
going back
anything.
to stuff if you're gonna buy pre-built. Because if you're gonna buy any more pre-built stuff right now, you won't be able to buy 9 series graphics cards in your pre-built. So it's only gonna be 10 series.
Right.
But
Which is good.
if you're gonna build your own PC and you can still find, say, a 980 Ti, that's gonna beat out a 1060 100% because it's still good. It's just they're not gonna have any warranty anymore because they're out of stock. They're not making those anymore.
Right.
And
so when we say TI means that you can overclock it. So like a 1050 Ti is probably better than a 1060 with no overclocking.
Right, because the 1060, I have the 1050 Ti, and the 1060 standard is a 3 gigabyte graphics card, whereas the 1050 Ti.
I thought it was no. I haven't. No, you're right. It's a 3. It's a 3.
They have the 3 gig and they have the 6 gig. You can get either
one.
one.
Yeah.
But the 1050 is better than the 3 gig version.
A 1050 Ti is good, Isaac.
It's kind of up and down because there are a few specs that are a little bit better on the 1060. Like it's just the 1060 3 gig has like VR ready. Some of them have what was I? Gosh, what was it? It was like more shader count, more cores in that CUDA cores than my 1050 Ti. But the 1050 Ti, if you're looking just on the graphics side of Rainbow Six Siege, a 1050 Ti will run Rainbow Six Siege through and through. You
really
won't
well.
have any problems. That's what I have, and I get about 90 to 100 frames on Rainbow Six Siege, which is more than enough for you to play online, play ranked, and also have the graphics settings pretty high because I keep my graphics settings on ultra.
So
Lance I'm not running the ultra texture pack.
Lance wants to know, Is SSD actually the problem when you're not loading fast enough?
That's
Yes.
a trick question.
Can be.
Yes,
So
it can.
Probably about,
Yeah.
I would say 90% of the time, if you're not loading it on PC, it's because you're running your game on a hard drive. And the difference between a hard drive and an SSD is the hard drive is kind of more like a CD player. Like it has to spin, and when it's reading, it's spinning. The solid state drive has nothing like that. It's just
There's no
solid state, and
mechanics,
it's
yeah.
Yep, the
Right.
mechanics are totally different, and that's what's.
And I was
if you-
always told that a hard drive is, and Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong, that a hard drive is read and write, whereas an SSD is just read. It doesn't have to focus on the writing portion of it. So it works faster because it has less to do. Is like a really
Well-
layman's term of going over what an SSD does. An SSD is actually a
Essentially.
really, so I have a pre-built. I have an HP Omen, and the first upgrade I made to my HP was I added 500 SSD to it, and it was the easiest thing. It's literally plug and play. You plug it in and plug it into the extra slot. Like, it is so simple to install, and then Steam makes it really easy to move your games to your SSD drive, and it doesn't take any time whatsoever. So I have my Rainbow on Steam. Most of my other games are on Steam, and it's super easy just to click a couple buttons. You can find stuff on YouTube on how to move your stuff from Steam to SSD. There's hundreds of videos about it.
Absolutely.
You move your stuff over to the SSD, and I have noticed a drastic difference in load times of not only like starting the game and it working to get itself started and loading in, but also loading into the game itself. There's definitely a marked improvement on my end. So it doesn't help your frames or anything like that. That's all your graphics part and your processor.
I would say, Liam, absolutely. If you have an SSD, make sure you move. This is a tricky thing to do, so you want to do it right and carefully. But try to move your operating system to that SSD
Liam is
if you
saying
get one.
I run Windows on an M.2 SSD, and it's like that boot up instantly in my computer, and that's always a good thing to have too.
I have my
I'm
OS
lucky.
on
I've
it
got
too.
a PCI Express SSD and then one SATA. I think it's a SATA 3 2.5-inch SSD. So I've got two SSDs in my computer. Now, Lance, are you on? Here's a big question I have for you. Are you on PC or Xbox? And I'll give you some time for that to go through. And the reason I asked,
Xbox?
So while you have external hard drives.
Yeah, and it's completely different on Xbox or PlayStation, even also for that matter.
You have external
because
hard drives because they don't
PlayStation-
have enough internal memory to cover some of the games that
Right.
people want to play.
But it's not about that. It's about the fact that when you plug an SSD into a console, you're not getting the benefit. And people will try to tell you get an SSD for your Xbox. It's unnecessary.
Lance is on PC.
Okay, good. But stick with just whatever inside the Xbox or PlayStation, because when you run that SSD through that USB is bottlenecking that SSD, and you're not getting the true speed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pointless to buy an SSD for a console. But that's just for anybody watching. Just keep that in mind. Don't buy SSD for console.
Oh, another thing that I have to say about pre-builds is when you're buying an NVIDIA versus AMD, NVIDIA has its own special fancy recording software that comes with the graphics card that you can just record.
GeForce.
Like people are like, how
Alt
do you record
F10.
stuff? I'm like, it literally comes with my graphics card. Wow. And they're like, how do I do it on AMD? I'm like,
Alt
like,
F10 records your video. It records like the last 5 minutes.
Really big benefit of having an NVIDIA card versus an AMD card.
Because they use GeForce. GeForce is their you can stream through GeForce, you can record through GeForce, and you can like do a replay, so it'll record the last 5 minutes of your gameplay and download it onto whatever drive you decide for it to go on. And it's actually very good recording. Like it's 1080p. It's really good. Yeah. So can we brag about Rachel's PC for a second? Can we just?
She's got something insane that I'll probably never be able to
So
buy
this
in
is
my lifetime.
This is Rachel's PC. Let me turn this down a little. This is Rachel's PC. I don't know why this always pops up. Okay. Look at this beautiful. This is what she's playing on currently. Everybody hate her and be jealous.
I gotta wait for it to pop up in
how did you get like the liquid cool and all that cool? Like what?
You have to buy every single piece that you see in there. You have to buy the actual water cooling components themselves. You have to buy the tubing. You have to bend the tubing at that point with like a heat gun. You have to buy
Sounds like a fuck of a lot of work.
power supply, the pump, the reservoir,
Jesus.
and everything connects to each other in a certain way to cool each part of your PC. So it'll like go from the reservoir to the CPU to the graphics card to just the fans to each piece to make it all cool together. And you have to have your fans like going in or out to make sure hot air is going out and cool air is going in, and it's like pretty complicated
I was
stuff.
gonna
And
say
even
that's.
then, I still get hot temperatures sometimes because I have a really small case. I have a mini case, so
Is that
it's a
something
bit
easy for
fancier.
you to switch out? Just like.
Kind of. If I wanted to switch to a full size case, it would look awkward because I have a mini motherboard specifically for this case. So it
So
would
it would
just be
look
like look
weird.
really tiny in a mid-sized case. And I
Yeah.
only have one PCIe port, so I can only put one graphics card in this motherboard. But
Right.
so if I upgrade it in the future, I would get a new motherboard and I would get a new monoblock, which is the piece that cools the CPU for water cooling.
That thing looks like a damn nuclear reactor.
It's the coolest thing on the planet.
It's very.
So
It's
my other
fantastic.
question is, when your
Jelly.
PC is off, what is the liquid doing?
nothing. It's just sitting there.
So do you have
It's
to
not-
change that out?
No, it's fine. It has chemicals in there to be able to run it for however many months. I think generally it's like 6.
And then you
Um,
change it out every 6 months?
Yeah, but it has chemicals to be able to stay good for a while. And when it's on, the pump is running, and that's when the water is flowing through each component of the PC. But when it's off, it's just sitting there.
That's like the cool. I hype. Like I just.
I love it.
When
That's
you showed
fantastic.
me that out, she was like, "Oh, what? Look at my new PC!" Like so, like nonchalant about it, and I was like, "Sure." And then I was like,
this one affects this chair here.
"Her husband's PC is insane as well. You can do it. You can do it. You got this."
Probably can't really see it, but it's right there. It's another piece of work back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, holy shit.
That's
But that's
fantastic. And you make my PC look like a calculator.
right. That's Rachel's PC. Everybody be jealous and hate on her.
But anyways, the biggest thing here, the point of this, is if you want to make the switch to PC, it's fairly easy, but you're gonna have to make some sort of budget in the beginning.
Right.
And if you're coming to PC just because you want to be part of the PC community, blah blah blah, that's cool. But if you're coming to PC to have like better specs, graphics, all this stuff high up, you're gonna have to be able to have the budget that can coincide with that. Because if you want like 60 frames, you could stay on console. If you want 60 frames on PC, you're gonna have to actually make sure that your PC can run 60 frames, or else you're just gonna have worse graphics than you had on console.
Right.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing is I see a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I'm on PC," and it's like, "Well, what do you got?" And they're like, "Well, I've got an i5."
Running everything on low and I have 30 frames. I'm like,
yeah.
you should just sit
What's the
on
point?
console then.
Like I'm playing Battlefield 5 on my One X at 4K and it's like I can run that on there, but you can't even get 30 frames in Call of Duty 2. Like, okay. What a wonderful.
And the other
throw
thing,
some money into it.
so I know I switched from Xbox. Rustin, you were Xbox and PS4, correct?
Yeah, I still have both too.
Rachel, have you been a console? Were you original console, or you always kind of been a
I
PCer?
haven't really played console since Black Ops 1, like on Xbox 360, so it's been a while.
Okay. No, so the only problem with the Switch for me wasn't, so I loved mouse, and because I mean it's pinpoint accuracy, like you can and my potato aim is like rarely a thing anymore, because like on console you freak out and you're just
So you
doing
sing.
this, and you know, like with mouse it's so much easier to control that mechanic.
Right.
The only problem was the keyboard portion for me, and I still have one friend who's been playing PC for a while now, and he doesn't lean. He just won't do it. He's like, I can't press Q and E. I can't do it. I cannot get my fingers to go there. Like, it's not a thing. So the whole time we play together, I'm yelling at him like, fucking lean. Like, if you leaned, you wouldn't die. Like, why aren't you leaning right now?
Leaning is a
And I told him,
godsend.
I was like, just get in Terrace Hunter Custom and just keep pressing Q and E. Keep pressing Q and E. Just don't stop. Just keep doing it. Press W Q and E. W Q and E. Just like
People ask, what buttons do you have your lean on? Everyone's like, Q and E. Like, why would you put it anywhere else? I'm like, it feels weird.
Ridiculous.
Like, just do it.
I met somebody that had it on their side mouse buttons, and
Some
I'm like,
people have it on their mouse,
like,
but that's
Yeah.
weird.
why?
So that's a really good
That's
transition
awful.
to talking about the peripherals. We talked about the inside of the PC. I would like to talk about the peripherals now. The mouse is probably the most important part. Keyboard, you can
Exactly.
run a basic bitch keyboard.
Before Rachel pulls out her amazing, wonderful keyboard, I want everyone to see that I game on a office keyboard that is $10 at any local store you can find, probably 50 cents at Goodwill.
And I am a Razer elitist. I love Razer.
Gross.
So I have
Gross.
the Black Widow by Razer, which is one of like I truly do love this. The only thing about this one is the sounds of the keys. Rich, what do you have?
Y'all have the same
I
keyboard,
have a
don't
Black Widow as well, but I have the tournament edition,
Right,
so
she
it
has a
does
smaller
not
one.
Yeah.
have a numpad or macros.
Yeah.
That thing's pretty gorgeous.
And
I like the
then
purple.
the other thing about keyboards is the sound of them clicking, the clicky sounds. So I don't even know if you'll be able to hear. Can you hear?
Hit it
Probably
harder.
hear mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear
Mine's
hers.
quite
This is
loud.
what mine sounds like.
So
I don't know.
the biggest thing, and this is it's the so people ask you what color are your keys. They're not talking about like how fancy and pretty colorful this is. They're talking about if you pop off. Let's see, I'll pop off this one. You can pop off these. I always pop off my escape key. I'll do
If I
that
do
one.
that to mine, it'll break.
Right. So if you pop these keys off, they come off pretty easily. So this is my escape button, right? You pop off these keys, and you see there's a little like cross. You're not gonna be able to see it because the light's on.
Can't see it because RGB, but yeah.
Right. So there's a little colored thing. Mine's green. There's what?
Mine's green as well, but I mean, it's
They're
just technically it's
cherry,
called switch.
browns, clear. Yeah.
Yeah, there used to be blue, but I think they discontinued. But there's green,
Yeah, I
red,
don't think blue's a
brown,
thing.
and it's just basically when you click down
It's
on
cherry
anything.
keys, by the way.
Yeah, cherry. Yeah. When you click down on your keyboard, it's gonna be like the intensity of how fast you click, how soft or hard it feels, and how loud it is.
And so
Basically.
some people prefer the sound. Some people prefer the feel of I prefer the feel of a green. I don't like the clear. It feels like I'm not doing anything. I can't tell that. And I tend to go too hard. Like if I can't hear it, I tend to
Oh
just
God,
slam the
I've
shit
heard
out of
your
it.
frantic clicking too. Like click. Fuck. That's you.
I love the clicking.
So
And there's this handy dandy little thing on Amazon where it can give you for like $3 to $5. It has a sample of each different kind of color switches, and you could just buy it and test it out on your own and see which one you like the best. But really, that's not super gonna affect your gameplay per
right.
se. It's just
It's
like
just
how you
it's a
like
stupid
what it
preference.
feels like.
It's kind of like a chair, right? It's like how comfortable do I feel leaning or sitting forward? It's like the same principle. It's all just personal preference.
So, but basically the keyboard doesn't matter. I'm just a Razer elitist. The next thing I would like to talk about is the mouse. And so again, Razer elitist. I use the Basilisk. I'm probably saying that wrong. I like Razer solely because well, let's go over Rachel's first. Rachel, what you got? What you working with, girl?
I have Logitech G502. I love this mouse.
Samesies.
Rustin has as well. This mouse is like insanely popular. Everyone and their fucking mom has this mouse here. And it's really great because it can kind of fit. I have very small hands, very small. You can't tell right here, but they're really small. And I can fit, yeah, they have weights too. Um, it's good if you have a big hand, if you have small hand, if you play claw, if you play stretch. Like it's the size of it is literally perfect for multiple types of ways to play. And it has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra buttons that you can map certain things to your mouse for.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4,
7?
5, 6, 7.
Well, I don't count the DPI button.
Oh.
Yeah, DPI you can't map.
Yeah, you can.
You can map
You can-
DPI button,
you can-
but I just
It wouldn't let me map the DPI button. I wanted
That's
to.
because you suck.
That's
Basically.
well, you have Razer, right?
That's because you have Razer.
Okay, so another thing is when you have Logitech mouse right here, I will show you guys.
Oh wait,
really
actually,
quick.
Rachel.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because the side clicks.
When you have a Logitech mouse, you automatically get this handy dandy software here that you can use to map any sort of button you want on R6. Like for example, this is my R6 thing. I randomly have reload here because I like it. Don't judge me. I have F space, push to talk,
Wait, where's your reload?
melee. It's on this little button right here. I love it. I've been doing that since the division. And you can also edit your DPIs here as well, and you can change them anytime you want. So it's really nice. So when you get a Logitech mouse, you'll automatically get this software that comes with your PC. So that's pretty cool. And you can have different profiles for the division, for like whatever other game you want. Pierce, that's pretty dope.
And then, she has small hands. I also have small hands because I'm a little dainty girl.
I want to pause for 1 second. We just got a question that popped up, and this is something I want to have us answer real quick for Lance. He says, sometimes when I play FPS drops, I see a thing on the top right. It's like a little plug blinking bright red and bright orange.
It's telling you how much the
That's a packet loss.
Yeah.
It's basically you're lagging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can do with your latency to the server, and it can do with your PC as well. I get that quite often as well when I'm streaming, but it depends what kind of PC you're running, what kind of internet you got, and what you're running in the background while you're playing Siege. So it's kind of like a complex question.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just basically saying, in the most basic terms, you're lagging.
It could also be as simple as your Ethernet cord's going out, or something's wrong with your router. Like it could be any number of things. So.
Yeah, and one big thing about that too is if you have beautiful ping, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to run the server well. So like, there's a lot of complexities when it comes to that stuff. It's not as easy as turning on your console and your console runs perfectly.
Yeah.
PC isn't like that, unfortunately.
So back.
Carmelo, we are not Ubisoft official, so.
But the new season comes out, supposed to come out December 6th. So.
But
I
just
know it's
remember.
December 4th.
Is it the 4th?
Yeah,
Why did I hear the 6th?
It's
4th then.
Wait, I'll tell you.
So again, we'll go back to the mice, the mouses, the mices. The mice. So I have a Razer. I've used Razer, so I've had a Logitech before. I did like my Logitech. There's nothing wrong with it. And I know you guys have the side. These are again little stupid things, but there's like this side thing where your thumb sits on. I really like that. I will never go to a mouse that doesn't have that. I like that a lot.
I don't know if you can see in there, but yeah.
They have a bunch of buttons on theirs. I have a bunch of buttons on mine. I have just 2 right here on the side, and then the scroll bar goes down as well. So, and then I have my DPI, and the thing I like about this one is some of the other ones, if you have a DPI button on the back, it's one DPI button. You hit it and it goes up, and then it resets back to where it was before. So if you have it on like 400, 800, 1000, and those are the settings, you can do as many as you want, and those are the settings you have for your particular mouse. Then it'll recycle back when you hit it again back to the 400 and keep going that way. Well, with this one in particular, this one I can DPI up or DPI down. So I have 2 separate buttons for that, which I think is kind of cool. I don't see the need for having like a shit ton of buttons on Siege. It's good for MMOs and all those other games if that's what you play. I know a lot of like League of Legends people have like a whole just like keyboard on the side of their mouse.
I know, that's my sort of Siege.
You don't necessarily need that for Siege. Even just a like 2-button mouse like how I have is completely fine. I have my primary and secondary gadgets on mine. That's just what I
Same.
have a preference for. And then melee is when I press down on the wheel. So that's what I have my map to at this point. It works
That's a
for
pretty
me.
standard setup too. From,
Right.
like all the people I play with.
So the mouse is probably the most important peripheral that you'll buy besides maybe the screen. And the other thing that I have for my mouse, which it's me just trying to be fancy, but I love it now, is I have a mouse bungee. Anybody else have a mouse bungee?
What is that?
That looks awful.
So
That looks
this
like a
is the
torture
mouse
device.
bungee. No, it's not a torture device. I don't know how to show it because I have like a lot of. So this is a mouse bungee. So basically, my it sits on my desk, and you know how like the mouse, the string, mine's not wireless. So the string gets it gets tagged on things, and I'll go to like I don't know. I'm very sporadic in
think
my
you're just
movements.
crazy.
Yeah. So this sits on this mouse bungee. I can't believe people don't know about this. This sits on this mouse bungee, and it makes it so that if I move, I have no tension on my wire. I fucking love this thing. I've had this for like a year now, and I would
Yeah,
never.
I've seen some people that have those. Those are pretty cool.
I would never not mouse bungee now. And they're
See,
super
I
cheap.
guess
They're like $20.
I think that's like the
Whatever.
difference between me and you, because I think you're an arm mover and I'm a wrist mover.
I'm both. So I play wrist and arm. So
That sounds so wrong.
well,
Sorry.
you gotta
Yeah,
change things up.
I mean, my mouse pad is this big. It is a HyperX mouse pad.
Oh god, my mouse pad's insane. I have the Razer.
Jeez, that
I
thing's
can't even pick
huge.
up my mouse pad. It's literally this long, so
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's like the same as that mouse pad right there.
I have this mouse pad, which is like the Razer. It's a hard mouse pad,
And
which I like a lot.
I'm crazy
And
because I played like this, so it's long ways. The long way is up, so I can move back and forth,
you're
or
so
up
weird.
and down. But like side to side is very, very small. That's about how I play like that.
But yeah, I have a big the big Razer mouse pad, and it's the
That thing's
hard
cool
one.
though.
And the cool thing too is I know Logitech does this too, but since all my peripherals are Razer, they all sync up. So depending on how I have mine mapped, like this will match my mouse, which matches my keyboard, and they're all like synced together, so they can be kind of cool. But
That's what I love.
I like a
I love
hard
to do
mouse
stuff
pad.
like that.
Most people use a soft. Rachel, are you soft
Right.
or hard?
It's soft, but I have two mouse pads on top of each other, so it's pretty hard.
Okay.
But
So you're just mediocre.
I'm medium.
So I have a preference for a hard mouse pad. I just think that, and that's all about friction between the mouse and the pad itself, is how much friction you get and how quickly you can move that mouse. But if you're used to a soft, let's see. Then we have the screens. 144 hertz. That's like that's not even right.
Okay. Now,
I mean,
sure.
end of
Because
topic.
Let me just say this first of all, because a lot of people are confused about this and they don't understand this. This is gonna take some Google research. If you don't believe me on this, it's 100% true. If you have 144 hertz monitor, or no, let me go back. If you have a 60 hertz monitor, the screen is only going to truly convey 60 FPS. Even if it says 200, the screen is only truly conveying
I can't do
60
any more than that.
FPS. So if you have a 144 hertz monitor, you're only truly going to be seeing 144 hertz on this monitor. Even if it says, I have 300 frames, you're not truly 100% seeing that on your screen.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's my big thing about 144 hertz. But that being said, some graphics cards don't run 144 hertz well. So that's another thing that you'd have to do research on if you're buying a pre-built. Like a 1050 is probably like not going to run 144 hertz well.
No,
all right, let me real quick, just for anybody watching. We are not Ubisoft. We are a fan base page. We are avid Siege players. I have spoken with some Ubisoft people. They don't listen to what I say about operators. They don't
yeah, we
care.
get it.
They don't. They don't. They're like, this is some chick who plays the game. Like, they give zero fucks about what I have to say about the game. Okay. We are not Ubisoft. We have no control over release dates. We have no control over about operators. We have no control over bug fixes, anything. If you have any of those issues, contact them directly on their website or via Twitter. They're very fast at responding. I had posted something about, I had noticed, I posted something on my Twitter page saying, we ran into a hacker. I happened to hit my GeForce experience on NVIDIA and recorded that, and I clipped it and I put it on my Twitter, and I was like, how is this a thing? Tagged Ubisoft. They commented on mine within a few minutes, and like a few hours later, that guy was banned. It's that simple. So contact Ubisoft if you have any issues with bugs or anything like that. They're actually very responsive to players, but we are not Ubisoft.
So we
Continue.
Can't do shit.
Continue. Sorry. I had to say that. Go on.
That's another random point to bring up too, is people are kind of afraid to move to PC because they're afraid of hackers. Hackers is unfortunately a part
What it
of
is.
the PC community.
Is what
But
it is.
that being said, I have 1,500 hours in Siege on my main account. I still have like 200, 300 on my other accounts. And I have seen maybe 4 legit hackers that I have faced in raid. 4.
Up in the higher, so normally
And
those
they're pretty high
hackers,
elo.
right? Normally those hackers don't make it because somebody's gonna report them. Normally those hackers don't make it past Plat 1 or 2. Yeah, like Plat 3 is normally when they get
If they're
caught.
really sneaky, they'll make it past to Diamond.
Right.
But it's
There's
not
very
often
few
anymore.
very few. So all these people who are like, "Oh, it's a hacker." No, it's probably not a hacker. They just outgunned you. Calm down. Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when I play with people and they're like, "It's a fucking hacker," and I'm like, "No, they're not.
Just go wallbang
You're
into
just,
walls.
yeah, you just got, bro. Calm down. You can tell when there's a hacker."
I've had those where I thought I was a hacker. I'm like, how the hell did I just kill
Right.
that guy?
Really? Yeah.
Am I a
Right.
hacker?
Right.
They're
So
probably saying
not
the same thing to themselves.
not everyone that shoots you through a wall or it feels like it's tracing. A lot of that's callouts. There might be a drone on you that you don't know about. It could just be fucking luck. Karma decided that you were her target that day and you got fucking wall banged. Like there's nothing that there's very few, and normally they're pretty obvious. They're like very obvious, and the tracers.
Oh, absolutely.
Normally they'll get you in spawn.
A lot of these hackers that are active at hacking want to do it just to piss people off and
Right.
fuck with
Troll.
people. So they're most likely gonna let you know that they're hacking by being very obvious. There's
Right.
not a lot of hackers that don't care about being caught. Like a lot of these
Right.
people are just buying Siege accounts over and over and over and over and hacking on them. They don't care if they get banned.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Have you ever played GTA 5 online? Because that's how it feels. That's all they do.
GTA 5 online is okay to hack on. I condone hacking on GTA 5.
You're a terrible person.
Well, there's 2 types of hackers. There's a hacker that goes around and it's like, here's a bunch of free tanks, have fun. And there's the other type of hacker that crashes everybody and makes you restart your PC 3 times.
So
I haven't gotten into anything that bad, but
so don't fear hackers. And the hacker that I came across that was obviously hacking because they were transporting, and I caught them on the kill cam transporting. Like it was definitely a hacker, no doubt in my mind. And I had very valid proof of that. So we 4-0'd him. You can beat a hacker. You beat them at their own game. It's not like just because you face a hacker you're going to lose. And I want to say I've faced probably like 3 or 4 legit hackers as well, and I have quite a few hours in the game myself. I think we've lost to 1. So, because it got to a point where we're like, fuck it, like we're picking recruit, just stay and spawn. He's gonna get us anyways, Like, I mean, most of them you can beat if you beat them at their own game. It's not impossible to beat a hacker.
And it's kind of one of those things. It's just shrug it off and move on.
Right. Next.
The next round's going to start in a few minutes.
Don't let it ruin your game.
Move on. Yeah.
So everybody's we're getting a lot of comments about the new ops. and I'm super stoked about the new ops, but I'm also I don't know.
Get into it now. Ali did ask, what about
Well-
Chunks rework? Which
Yeah.
I don't think that's on a high priority for Ubisoft right now, especially because once we start getting to talk about this, these new operators are kind of like fucked up right now. So
Yeah.
that's definitely going to be their number one priority right now. I think a Chanka rework will come in eventually, someday, but I don't think it's going to happen within the next season of Rainbow.
Let's see.
I know that they are working on reworking him. So
Caramello Bautista. I like that last name.
So I'm
Do
just
you
gonna
think
show
that
some.
Cade will be better than Bandit?
Okay. Okay. So I love Bandit. I am a avid Bandit player. I play Frost and Bandit. Those are like my two favorites personally, and I like Mute a lot too. I'm an anchor, so I'm a really good like insight person, and I like trap ops. I don't think Bandits. I think that makes him more relevant, to be honest with you, because what we've seen in TTS, and me and Rachel have played it quite a bit together. What we saw in TTS, and back me up if I'm wrong, is I've seen a lot of people putting shields in the doorway of the objective. We play normally bomb only unless Rachel messes it up and makes us go secure and everybody gets mad. We play only bomb only, so they'll put a shield in front of the doorway. I'll put barbed wire behind it and then throw a Cade. The problem with Cade is that you can't see. It's very hard to see his gadget. It's because it can be stuck behind a doorway that you just can't get an angle on unless you jump over it, and it takes a lot of damage. What, it was like 30 damage?
A lot of damage. It's
Just like
nuts.
meleeing it, you get 30
Getting
instantly.
shocked by a bandit battery. You take like 10 times more damage than getting shocked by a bandit battery for whatever
100%.
reason. I don't know why.
That's one of the broken parts of his mechanic.
I think they might end up changing that. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna make Bandit irrelevant because he comes with barbed wire, and it makes shields relevant again as well, because hopping over these shields, hitting, meleeing the barbed wire, you're taking a ton of damage, and you can't destroy his gadget unless you have Thatcher. Even if you had IQ, you'd have to expose yourself by going around a corner and attempting to shoot it.
And some of the ones like on Consulate, when you play Consulate like upstairs, and some of them, like when you're going up yellow stairs to the top and you're getting like the like where admin and all that other stuff is, right? So the bomb site that's up on the very top floor, and you walk up yellow stairs. They've been putting a shield there with barbed wire behind it, and it's tucked so far back in the corner that even just peeking around that, trying to catch the Cade, I keep calling it Cade, you can't see it. You need a Thatcher. That's the only way you're getting past that. The other thing is that it takes, so people do still bandit trick. I bandit trick all the time. I'm a master at it. I drop that shit immediately when there's a Maverick. I like leave right. I'm like, Maverick, I'm out. Like, let him have the garage. I don't give a shit. So I think that with him though, it takes a second for those to go off. There's like a 2 seconds?
Maybe like 2-second activation.
Yeah. So in that point, the thermite's gone. By the time you throw it and it activates, the thermite's already off. So yeah,
which you can see in this video we got running here.
Yeah. So I mean, there is literally no. It literally just showed it right there. There is no. It does not make Bandit elite. If anything, it's a buff to Thatch.
Yeah, and the great thing about Cade is if you combo him with Bandit, you're gonna be having walls bandited and hatches electrified. So that's gonna be double the electricity, and that's gonna be protecting your hatches.
I think the hatches electrified is one of the better. The hatches and then denying. He's almost like an electrified castle, because it's almost impossible to get into the objective site without taking damage. And if you've already gotten a bunch of like damage taken from you in the beginning, taken off roamers, and then you get to the site, you have 20 damage, and you have to jump an electrified fucking shield. That's a really good way to keep those ops out. So
how many does he get again?
Gets
3. I think they might change it to 2.
I think 3 is okay.
I don't mind 3. I was okay with 3, and I do like the fact that you can do the hatches underneath. I think that's
Right.
a really good. I don't think it's a broken way to use his mechanic, like how Lion is broken. um, Nomad. Nomad's just fun. She is a great meme operator. I was playing. So the other day we were playing TTS with Rachel. This guy, I was tucked in a corner because I knew I knew at least 2 were out there, and I was tucked into a corner. We're on Villa. The guy throws one of her nomads in me, knocks me through the wall. I get out into the wall of the hallway, and it takes a second to get up. And there's 4 fucking people standing there looking at me, and I think they were all surprised too, because they were like, what? Nobody shot at me, and I got up, and she hits me again with it, and that's when Thermite kills me, and I was just like, and like in chat, we were all just like, ha 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 ha, like it was insane. And it was the funniest way to die. I was totally okay with being dead like that. Because, I mean.
Yeah, for now, it's kind of just memes, but it's probably going to be pretty OP in the future when people learn how to coordinate and use it well.
What is this Just Dance video? Oh, here we go. Yeah. But, I mean. And
look, Bikini Bodhi.
I think that. Yeah, why is it playing Bikinis thing? That's okay. We can show the new map. I think that her plant denial is really or the diffuse denial is a really cool. She's basically an attacker's echo. So when they go to defuse the bomb, you can drop one of those nomads and it knocks them off, and they have to go back. So if you don't have enough time, I mean, it's very situational at best, by all means, but if you don't have enough time to defuse and then nomad comes in and knocks you off your shit, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I think nomad's
really good for flanking as well. If you put a nomad on your flank and he just knocks somebody down when the diffuser's already gone off, you're like, oh, they're just coming from right there.
Yeah.
It's the same as kind of like a trap, which is pretty handy dandy.
So I do think that there's a lot to be said for Nomad herself. I think she's a little broken. But they're all a little broken at first.
She's more than a little broken, but I'm sure
I'm trying to be nice.
I'm sure they're gonna address that soon. I think that her gadget's really unique. Well,
yeah.
In a way, it's pretty unique to any other operator.
Well, she's the first trap operator on attack.
Right.
That's kind of cool. It needed to happen.
Like this. Do you guys remember when the whole RIP Valkyrie thing came out? When they're like, "Oh, Valkyrie's useless now," blah blah blah. She's gonna hurt the team. Honestly, I don't see a whole lot of people playing Dokkaebi anymore. And
cancer players, hello. Well, like literally, we'll just make the call out. Oh, we're running full AIDS. There's a lion, a Finka, a Doke, a Blitz.
That's different. We're a bunch of dicks. Okay. That's different. But what I'm getting at here is, how often are you going to be in that perfect situation where she happens to be alive, and able to shoot the person off the bomb? Like,
you could say the same thing for Echo, though. You could say the same exact thing for Echo. How are you ever, like, what is the statistic probability of you being in a situation where you can stop the Echo drone and they haven't come and got you and Echo's still alive and it's in the right spot, and all of that situational? That's the point of setting up and hoping, prepare for the worst, hope for the best type situation. You hope your roamers can take off as much people as possible. It's also how you play those attackers.
Right. Honestly, every time that we've played and someone's like, "Oh, Echo," it's like, "Hey, Echo's gone." So yes, Phil, we can see your comments. By the way.
Nomad's not 100% broken.
I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say she's 100% broken. I would say that Nomad's, she has some work to do. I do think I saw a post on the page earlier that I thought was really well said, where he was talking about how in the beginning seasons, like the early seasons when the ops came out, they weren't as broken as they originally, like, they didn't need much work besides Blackbeard. I think he even said besides BB, they didn't need much rework. And now it seems like we're getting these ops where they just need massive overhauls. Like one of them, I have never in my life thought that this would be a thing, but one of them is completely banned from Pro League. They have an operator that is completely banned from Pro League. If that doesn't tell you how broken that op is, something's not right. You know, like
Isn't that your favorite op too?
I like his gun. I'm a terrible lion main because I like rarely use his ability. I get
So
yelled
just
at for not using his ability.
for-
I like his gun.
For everyone's reference, we were doing a custom gun battle, just kind of messing around, and we kept banning Frost and Lion, and
Because he's
Shae
a
would
dick.
Pop over. They
He's
would
a fucking
pop over
dick.
into
That's why.
our Discord and be like, "You're an asshole. You took all my mains away."
He knew what he was doing. It
wasn't me. It was Rumble.
I'm sure it probably was Rumble. So as far as the new ops go, I do think that Nomad needs a little work. So the new pistols. Rachel, I'm gonna take it away.
So
See if you can put that
the
video up.
new operator loadouts are pretty insane. Keita has an SMG and a shotgun, but they both have the 44 semi-auto
The shotgun's
secondary
sick too.
gun, and it is insane. It does 74 damage, which, to put that in perspective for you, Glaz's sniper rifle does 71. It does more damage than a freaking sniper rifle.
And has an
operator.
ACOG.
And it has the 4x ACOG. So that weapon has already got a ton of complaints from pros, streamers, YouTubers are already bashing the shit out of this weapon. So
Is
I'm
it
pretty
actually
sure
a 4x
it's not gonna...
though? Because the ACOGs in game are actually 3 or 2.5. They're not actual.
I don't know. I don't know what the magnification is exactly, but it's something like that.
Yeah. Either way, it's an ACOG. It's a shotgun with an ACOG that you can spawn kill and murder people with.
People are just running around in a TTS and not even playing their primary weapons. They're only playing these secondaries. So
yeah,
that's why I've been playing Fallout.
How much fun it is. It's just purely fun playing that gun. It is so much fun, but it's broken. And the reload speed and the rate of fire is super, super fast. It's insane.
Yeah. Rachel got a 4K. She was like, I just want to try the pistol. And I got a 4K with the new pistol. It was pretty. She was like, holy crap.
It's fun. It's really fun.
So it was like there's a lot to be said for that pistol, and I do think that's I think there'll be a little bit of a nerf for that.
I think there'll definitely be a nerf. Carmelo was asking which operators were getting nerfed, which if you guys haven't seen the patch notes yet, we have 2 confirmed operators getting a slight nerf, which is Legion and Zofia. And Legion is getting slightly less damage to his gun, and Zofia is losing a concussion grenade, which isn't too bad of a nerf for either of them, I would say. Everyone else is not confirmed.
I thought Legion was pretty well balanced as far as like pistol and ability. I didn't see him being on their radar. I was shocked when that patch note came out.
I'll
be honest.
He's picked so much, it's kind of insane now.
He's just a good trap op.
It's more of a pick rate nerf than anything.
I think he's just a good trap op. Like he's a good trap operator. So he's a valid trap op. But yeah. I know he's one. I know that Chonka's supposed to be getting some rework. They were talking about that. I know that's been in the works for a while now, though, so I don't know exactly.
There's been talk about Lion's ability being nerfed to where only he can see when someone
I think that's fair.
Team.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Almost be useless though in a way at that point. He'll rely a lot on team communication more than anything.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like a lot of the other tracking operators. Like
but
Jackal.
it's all reward and no risk. I pop a button, bam, you find out where everybody's at. And also, I mean, they have to move, and the second you see something move and stop, you shoot there, and they're dead. Like it's a very easy mechanic to use. Whereas like everybody's like, well, he's basically Caveira. No, because Caveira has to work for hers. Caveira has to not only down somebody, but she has to get the interrogation off in hopes that that person doesn't have somebody else behind them ready to kill her. And you can see the interrogation happening the whole time as a like if you have the shadows on. So I mean, she definitely has a lot of risk for that little bit of reward, where he just you press a button and hope somebody moves. Like I see where that I could get behind that as a person who plays Lion. I could get behind that. But I'm toxic as shit, so that's like.
It's true.
Bill, we can't see your comments, by the way. We see you. You're not getting ignored.
And it also, like, as far as the comments go, we do see them. It just takes us a while to get to that point in the conversation. We can't just, like, stop everything. We would get nowhere. So it's a flow of conversation. A civilian elite skin? I think eventually. So the new Glaz elite was. Everybody's so in love with it, and I'm not impressed.
But have you seen the animation?
The end?
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
I think it's really cool.
Everybody thinks it's so cool. I feel like it could have been cool. Like there's definitely like the thing dropping down. Okay, but I just feel like it's very like choppy. I don't know. I'm not that impressed with it. I have higher standards. Look at the Frost Elite.
I think it's cool.
Look at the Frost Elite.
There's some that are lame, but I mean it's all personal preference, and it's just something cool that they added to the game. It's not necessarily like you have to get it.
Right. No, I think the elites are cool. I do. I think that the Thermite one is pretty cool. I want to see Thatcher's. I think his is gonna be super cool.
Thatcher's is already out.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I want Thatcher's.
Yeah.
Except the fact that he looks old.
He's old.
I know, but he doesn't have to look. I'm old. I don't have to look old.
Thatcher's like in his 50s.
Actually, Kayed's older.
Right?
Yeah, Kayed's older. It's Kayed.
I think like by 1 year.
Milosh will tell you it's Kayed.
Like an American.
So
Hey, I'll take it easy
he's
now,
actually the oldest now. The Kayed is now officially the oldest operator we have, which I think is kind of cool.
How old is Capitao? Thought he was old too.
He's like 50.
Yeah, he's in his 50s as well. Because I know Thatch was the oldest.
Because we always joke he moves pretty fast for an old man.
You're a terrible
does,
person.
actually.
So, and then the new map. It's so pretty. I don't know it well enough to be like, oh, this is what's going to be best about it. I didn't get to play it enough to be.
I like this question. We'll come to it when we're ready.
I don't think that. I don't think that I know it well enough to make a call and be like, it's competitive. Plus, I also don't play competitively, so that's not my call. But I know a lot of pros that really like it, and I know a lot of pros that think that it's garbage. So, what do you guys think?
It's too early to say right now.
Yeah.
I could tell you I already like it more than I like Villa.
Agreed. Agreed. There's
Honestly,
a lot of rooms. There's rooms everywhere. I feel like it's just filled with rooms, and I don't know what you would do with all those. Like, great calf map, I would assume, considering it's like a million places to hide, and it's really pretty.
So the first thing that I thought of when I saw this map was it reminded me of another game that I played called Insurgency Sandstorm. But that's a map set in a similar territory. But it looks like the graphic style, the textures that they use in that map look very similar to that game, and that's all I could think of when I saw it.
Ooh, I like this question.
Visually appealing map.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very light too. It's very like bright. So most of the maps we get are kind of dark, and they took night out of ranked. That's in the new patch too. There's no night. It's all day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
Really nice.
I like it.
Complained about it, and
I
they
like
changed
it.
So that just says your voice is heard.
Exactly.
Not necessarily on this page, but the community.
We don't care.
Voice will
They
be heard.
might.
So somebody asked, so is there any operators you want to have that have a mask that you want unmasked? A million. So
Bandit.
I was Bandit, yes, but I was actually thinking Blitz because I've always liked Blitz's eyes.
Blitz has his mask
He's
off on
a
his
hottie.
Yeah, so that's a
I would not click. I would not kick Blitz out of bed. Let's just say that. He's a very good-looking man. I would like to see Smoke.
Really, Shae?
Whatever. I would like to see Smoke.
I would like to see
and
Smoke.
Mute, just because they're British. And in my head, they're like David Beckham.
Is that what you all care about?
And Bandit, I think Bandit with those blue eyes. I would like to see him. Most of the other ones
just be like fugly.
I know, like Thatcher. I was so upset.
He wants to see a Tachanka one. If you've seen some of those
Tachanka's
weird pictures
terrifying.
of like inside of Tachanka's face, it looks freaking not good. You would need a rework of his face to have to take that mask off.
I would pay
A cap can?
Terrifying. $100 out of my own pocket to have them put Vladimir Putin under.
Oh, that's terrible. That would never happen. It would never happen.
I would laugh.
For the motherland. No, it would never happen.
So hard. See, me personally, my operator that I wanted to get unmasked already happened, and I'm really happy that she did because had a big old crush on her, and that's Twitch.
I want to fix her eyebrows.
No,
her eyebrows look good. Are you kidding me?
She's perfect.
No, they're way too long. Like they're just way too.
And Frost.
Frost is a hottie. I'm stoked about the Frost Elite. I love the Frost Elite.
Canadian Tomb Raider over there.
I love it.
So Lance is asking, why isn't Caviar picked much in Pro League? That's a good question.
Too high of a risk. There's so there's two reasons. And Laxing talked about this when me and Laxing had a big conversation about this when I did his podcast, and he had a very good reasoning, and we had discussed it like beforehand too. There are a couple people who play Caviera. The problem with Caviera is it's high risk, minimal reward. Two reasons it's high risk. One is because there should never, in Pro League, any pro will tell you there should never be a moment where somebody is by themselves hunting a roamer. If that's happening, mistakes were made. Nobody should be by themselves because that just puts them, that's basically one man down. You're assuming that guy's going to die. And so, especially now with the 6 pick, like they can see what their picks are and switch out. If they see a Caviera, nobody's by themselves. So that means Cav not only has to take down 2, possibly 3, most likely 4 people. It's never going to happen. There's very few times where that op is alone. Secondly, Pro League, if you've watched Pro League, they drone every inch of that space. There is not a point where you are not knowing exactly what's going on in that room. And it's not like you're droning for yourself. There were a few times, and you can listen to Kix say it, and I was saying it like seconds before Kix was saying it. I was like, dude, is he droning himself in? Who does that? That you have somebody that drones you in. And it's like, we'll do that every now and then when we play. I'll be like, hey, can you drone me in real quick? Or hey, I'll drone you in real quick. And like, you aren't droning for yourself because that's leaving that 5 seconds of them entering that room and killing you off. Because you don't know what's happening in that 5 seconds that you're getting off the drone and entering that space. So if you have somebody drone you in, which all the pros do, they have somebody that drones them into that room. Caviar's not useless in that sense. She's very useless in ranked because that's not how ranked runs. But in Pro League, communication's too high. There's no point. She's absolutely useless.
So what do they call Caviar the Devil Woman? I don't think.
Have you seen her?
I don't.
Like, terrifying. She walks around with a hunchback.
And to answer this really quick, Nguyen, the reason why operators.
You said that totally wrong. Got you, dude. Go.
Isn't it? It's not Nguyen? Yeah, it's Nguyen.
No, it's not.
That's how you pronounce that.
Okay, go.
Whatever. We'll talk about that later. The reason why that you see blood types written on their uniforms is that's what most standard special forces military people do. It's all over any country they do it, just in case they die and their body is, and they need blood, or if they go down and they need blood in a battle situation, they can get blood.
But honestly, working as a trauma nurse, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to give you O negative no matter what. So, anyways, so what are your tips on using castle barricade in each map and frost traps in each map?
Don't. I'm just kidding.
Here, I'll start with castle.
I was to say I don't play castle much. Yeah, I don't play castle much.
It depends what you're playing, but if you're playing ranked, castle is really good just for wasting time, wasting gadgets, and denying entry. Your castle's gonna get taken out, no matter. It's not like you put a castle up, it's like, they're never gonna make it through this castle. There definitely are, but they're gonna waste it and use it where they could be using it somewhere else. Like Ash is gonna use it to blow a castle barricade that's totally irrelevant on the other side of the map. And then when it comes time for her to go to the objective, maybe there's another castle she needs to take out. Maybe she wants to deny Jaeger's ADS. Maybe she wants to like shoot it at a soft mirror. You never know, like anything, and she's already wasted it on a castle barricade. That's one good way to use a castle barricade. And then another way is to kind of funnel teams into different sides of the maps where if they don't want to use their gadget, they're like, I'm just going to go around this way. Then that's what you want them to do, and just shoot them.
It's like map manipulation.
Yeah.
She's a good map manipulator. If you have somebody who knows how to work that map, and the best castles that I've ever played against just know the maps upside down, inside out, and backwards. Like, and they know exactly how to funnel people. Is the best way to put it.
Last update, they changed to where Glass cannot open castle barricades anymore, and it was just by accident, but they decided to keep it because they're like, oh, I think this is a good idea. So if you know the other team is constantly playing Glass over and over and over, and you can't counter it well, you could use castle for a little bit to kind of take off some line of sight to where you can't just like shoot through a doorway.
I still think castle's very relevant, and you see him played in Pro League quite a bit. He's somebody who I think is still very relevant. I think he's one of those like low key, very important, but nobody really talks about him. He's not one of the high profile guys. He definitely does get a lot of Pro League play use, and I see him a lot in ranked personally. So yeah. As far as Frost goes, that's my girl, my boo. I find that Frost. So I play Frost as one of two ways. I'm a big anchor person. I like being either in the objective or extremely close to it. So I kind of play her on the peripheral of the objective. So objective's here. I sort of stay in the room right next to where the objective is. Sometimes I'll stray outside of that, but I'm still super close to the objective. So she's kind of somebody who's not a roamer. Can be. She's a great roamer. Her gun is ridiculous. That C9 is retardedly good. If you put an extended barrel and the angled grip on it, she's insane. And then she's essentially an operator who has 5 barbed wire. Don't bank on the fact that you're going to get those maps. You're not going to get the maps like right away. It's probably not going to happen that often. I pop maps a lot, but I don't bank on that. That's not something that I want. It's not something that I'm looking forward to. It's not something, I mean, yeah, I am looking forward to it because that sound is really satisfying. So I lied about that. But I use them as intel. So I will have them all on my backside if I'm watching a certain point. If this is my spot to watch, all my bear traps are back there. So if I hear one go off or I hear one get shot out, I know that somebody is back there killing my mat, and I have to watch my back now. And I'll tell to my team, hey, I gotta watch admin, or hey, I gotta watch, upstairs. They're in classroom, so they know that no longer this angle is being watched. I'm back here now. So they're essentially barbed wire. If one of them goes off, they're really good about. I'm really good about don't kill my bear trap. I don't care if you kill it. You have to get 2. So wait for the pickup because they will die eventually. Wait for the pickup and get 2 kills. That's all I ask. I have very minimal requirements. I don't care if you kill my bear traps. Just make sure it's 2 people. So she's really good with intel, and if you use her that way, she's a very effective operator to use. So, and she's fun. So
her gun's amazing too.
Her gun has literally no recoil.
So I just want an ACOG.
No.
She said no.
Stop it.
Just now.
So Lance
Yeah.
is asking, what's your opinion on removing theme park and ranked maps and also giving you SMG11? So they're not removing theme park from ranked. They just
It was a
messed up when
misprint.
they put out the patch notes and they didn't include it on there. Theme park is still gonna be in ranked.
Right. It was
And
a
I
misprint.
personally love theme park, so
Ah!
I'm all for it.
Ah!
But the new SMG11, I haven't seen in the patch notes specifically that they have reworked the recoil from when it got all messed up, but when I played it, it felt more controllable.
Yeah.
So I think that it got like a secret buff on the recoil, and it's already gotten a buff on damage too. So Mute is gonna be used 100 times more when this new
I
season
don't
comes
see
out.
why it's not on Thatcher.
Thatcher's too old.
Yeah, he's too old.
Thatcher's definitely getting left out. I think.
Hold on.
Aw.
I want to note something though that I always thought was funny. Just a little tidbit about Thatcher for people who haven't been playing Rainbow Six Siege since beta.
Inception.
Yeah. So I remember when the game first came out, and I think Thatcher was my first operator that I bought because my buddy wanted to be Thermite, so I naturally picked Thatcher to help
People,
him
let
out.
me tell you about my
Yeah,
best friend.
exactly. So, in Thatcher's profile picture, he's holding the M5 shotgun. But when the game first came out, he did not get the M5 shotgun. He only had the AR-33 and the L85 with a pistol.
Yeah.
That's all he could use. And people complained so much that he didn't have that shotgun that they put it in the game for him. Like, I think it was like season 2 that they put it in there. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny with Thatcher. He's my favorite. So stop being mean to him.
And I'm a Thermite main. That's why me and Rustin get along. I love my Thermite.
I think it's potential that Thatcher might get this gun if enough people complain. But the thing is, like, Ubisoft already knows that Thatcher is going to have such a high pick rate with these new operators that he's going to be essential to the team. And they know that for whatever reason, Mute's not getting picked. So they just want him to get picked more.
Right. Is it true that Tachanka is getting reworked? I
think it's mainly just rumors right now.
There's nothing official has come out from Ubisoft
they're
yet.
Gonna give him a segue.
Nothing official has come out, but there's word on the street is yeah, go ahead, Rustin, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, could you imagine if you could put the turret on the Segway and just ride around?
But like, yeah, what kind of rework would he get? I've heard of like a complete and utter overhaul of Tachanka. What kind of rework would you get on him? Like,
I think
make him thicker, give him more of a booty. Like, what exactly are you gonna do to him?
Imagine this. Imagine being able to, instead of it being on like a stand, if you could take the turret out, basically giving you an extra primary gun, but you can't ADS with it while you're moving around. You have to like lay down, bipod.
Would that make him more of a pick?
Put him on a window,
right?
So you could hang it out a window. I don't know. I don't think Tachanka's ever truly going to be really widely picked. I think he's just going to be that fun operator that you play when you're pissed off enough.
I mean, Ubisoft has literally already addressed before that they're aware that Tachanka is a meme, and they're aware that he's always going to be a meme, and they don't know if they want to change him specifically because he's a meme.
Well, but so were Raptor Legs, and they took that away. I'm still salty about that. I'm still salty about that. They took out Raptor Legs and then stuck guns in our chest instead. Like, that irritates the crap out of me. I want Raptor Legs back. Can we just get, like, can we bombard Ubisoft and tell them we want our Raptor Legs back?
Let's just make that an elite skin.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Put it on Reddit, yeah.
Elite skin, Raptor Legs, Ash.
I do think that the SMG11 is a good addition to Mute, though. I don't think that it's necessarily going to change his pick rate because his gadget's not as effective as, like, say, Bandit and Kayet's now, especially now that we have another operator that has entry denial. I don't think that that's necessarily a huge buff to him where everybody's going to pick him. I do think it's a strong buff to him, but I don't think it's I don't think it's going to be as effective in pick rate as they think it's going to be. What do you think, Rach?
Probably not. I think they should have done this seasons ago when we had Dokebi and Lion being insane, because that was mute was the counter to those. People still didn't pick mute, so I think that he should have had this buff a long time ago.
Right. I think because that's also so situational. Like, you have to be standing right on, even if you're kind of next to it within its little like dome of safety.
Yeah, if anything, I think jammers could get a buff.
Yeah. And remember like the first couple of seasons, they were really working with how much, because I remember when mute first came out, you put a mute there and you couldn't, like, it was like basically infinity vertical wise. Like,
yeah.
And then they did it where it like
on top of something now.
and then they did it where they did it where it was smaller, and then drones could jump over it, so it made it completely elite. Like, it was just so stupid. Yeah. And then now I think the range is pretty good. I don't think that the range is the issue. I don't know how to fix him. I'm not very I don't main mute anymore. I used to play him a lot, and now
Mute was my very first operator that I ever played.
And
I loved it because I played mute and fuse, so I was like, I know the tricks for mute and fuse. And I thought it was so cool. But now neither of those operators are very relevant. So sad times.
The biggest thing that always pains me to see is when people will use the mute to block drones at the beginning of the round and not re-pick them up to mute a wall or a window. They'll just leave them there. It's like, why even place it? You're just giving the enemy team some points there.
Yeah,
that's something that bugs me, especially when they put it in the middle of a doorway and they're like, I'm like, that's not where you put those, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm using it for drones. I'm literally a Twitch mate, so I'll just go up to it and shock if it's in the middle of a doorway. Like, come on, you be smart about it.
Don't be that mute ever. Don't ever be that guy.
But also, I mean,
so we know that theme park's is still gonna be in ranked. We did address that earlier.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Yeah. So yeah, I think that some of the changes that are happening are good. I do think that the game's going to be a little broken in the beginning, but you also can't please everyone. So I think that there's a lot of people who are going to voice their opinions, and not everyone's going to be happy, depending on how you play and what characters you play and all that other stuff. Somebody's going to piss you off down the road, and it's going to happen. So I do think they're a good addition. I can't wait to see some of the Nomad.
Phil says Nomad's more broken than Lion. I don't agree with
that. I don't agree with that at all, yeah. No.
We've heard everything you said, Phil. We get it.
I did not say that Nomad was fine. I said that she does need there's definitely a nerf in the works for her, for sure. And right. I don't think that she's more broken than Lion, though. I'll tell you that. So some of the stuff I'm excited to see the Nomad memes. I wish I would have saved that one where I busted through that wall and those 4 people. I don't know if I saved that or not. I hope I did.
That would be great to see.
It was a funny one. I was like,
video of me getting knocked by Nomad and then just standing up and killing her. So the knockdown time is fairly short because she has her ability and takes it out, shoots it, then she has to put her ability away and bring her gun back out. So in that whole time,
well, and you also need to push. So many people are using it, knocking you down, and then waiting in a pixel peek.
Exactly.
Like, you need to push.
She's gonna be best used
for aggressive players,
for diffusing, for team play. Because you can just knock her down, your teammate could just go up and shoot her, or you can use it for flanks, traps, defusal.
Or if you're majorly aggressive, and I'd play with a couple. Yeah.
One thing that we're probably going to see right at the beginning of the massive launch for everybody after the season pass gets their go is I really think we're going to see not only a lot of team killing, which always happens, but we're going to see a lot of people get so tunnel visioned trying to use her and trying to focus on only her gadget that she's going to get killed off right away quite a bit. But
they do that with most of the new ops, yeah. So Phil, we are agreeing that she is broken. Let me break this down. We are agreeing that she is broken. We've said it multiple times that we do think she's broken and she's going to get a nerf. 100%. We agree with that. I do not think that she is more broken than Lion. Period.
I don't think so either.
Right. So that's what we're saying. 100%. Yes. Next topic. So speaking of adding of that video of Nomad. I can't wait to see the Nomad meme videos. I think it's gonna be great. 2, let's talk about some of the posts in the community.
Oh gosh,
let's get to cleaning house here today.
I got so many things to talk about with this too.
Yeah, this
I,
the
I think
toxicity.
Where do we even start?
I know. All right, let's
I think
talk
the
about
first thing-
post approval. All right,
All right,
post approval. Here's what us as admins and moderators are looking for in post approval. There are times when your post gets denied via if you have a video and the video shows attachment unavailable, we can't approve that. I'm not going to approve that. We can't see your video. Nobody else can. It's basically an empty post.
What that usually means too is that you have your privacy settings or whatever you're sharing is set to private. So certain sometimes it's set to groups can't see it, or you can't share it to people not on your friends list, something along those lines. So you need to fix that and try reposting it again. But yeah, if we see that is attachment unavailable, we won't approve it, and we will screenshot that so you can see that too if you need to.
Any live videos, we don't mind posting live videos to our chat. They just have to be of you playing Rainbow Six Siege, not Fortnite.
Yes.
Not Red Dead Redemption 2. Not
Get that Fortnite out of
right.
here.
You must be playing Siege. And if you
even
switch,
if we're late on that approval, and if you switched and we see, oh, you were playing Siege, but now you're playing PUBG,
not
still
approving it.
Deny that.
And there's going to be mods that go in and look through the post, and if they see that you've switched, we've approved your post, you were playing Siege, we approved your post, and then you switched to Fortnite, they're probably going to take it down.
Yes.
Is what it is.
This is a Siege only page.
Right. This is not a Siege and sometimes Fortnite page.
No. Here's a big one. If your post says anything along these lines of, hey, delete if not allowed, you're all morons. You're all idiots. If you're in there insulting anybody with your post, we're not going to approve it. You don't need to
preface your post with delete if not allowed, because if it's not allowed, we're not approving it. So don't worry about it. You don't need to. We got you.
If you have any doubt that it might not get approved, then just don't even bother, because it probably won't.
Well, that's not true. You can bother. We'll just delete it. If you don't see it up, we probably deleted it.
But
whatever.
So we kind of go along with
no nudes.
No nudes.
Don't send nudes.
Don't be posting risque photos of the operators. Now,
yeah.
We get it. We understand the whole, like IQ's got a thick butt, ha ha ha. That's funny. That's true. Blah blah blah.
So does Rustin. We don't want to see his butt though.
Yeah, we don't want to see my butt. We don't want to see anyone else's butt, even though it's nice.
Jeez. We don't want to see that. Make sure that if you saw a video on YouTube, you really, really liked it and you want to share it, totally fine with us. Give the person credit. Same with any of the photos. Make sure you give them credit. Those people worked really hard for that.
So we do check.
Right. We have people. We know people.
And we don't
know people, and we just have been here long enough to where we just know this stuff. Yeah. Post a cosplayer saying that's you.
Not gonna happen.
I'm gonna find her on Instagram in 5 minutes. I guarantee. I literally did this last week.
Also,
if you post something saying it's you, and it's like a young smaller lady, and you're a large bearded man, of course that's not going to be you.
So also, if you post stuff about, oh, we are from blah 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 organization, and I'm probably not going to approve it. Not going to lie to you. If someone's looking for an org, or an org is looking for someone, normally they contact that person. There's a different way that legitimate organizations go about looking for legitimate comp players. Posting to a Rainbow Six Siege fan page is not one of them. So if it's an organization that says that they are looking for players, blah 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 blah, an actual organization, there are teams that are like, hey, I'm 4-man and was wanting to play Go Fours. That's different. I'm talking about actual organizations with sponsors that you are trying to go pro or whatever. Orgs don't look for you like that. They don't. You do it. There's a tryout process. There's an interview process. There's a whole situation that organizations go through in order to find their players. Posting to our page is not one of them. So I'm not going to approve you. Also, anybody who says, oh well, I'm from Cloud9 and join my Discord. No. Like, no. No, you're not.
Don't be shy though to ask for teammates because
Yes, yeah.
I can tell you the hundreds and hundreds of posts we get saying, I played casual and I got TK'd, blah, 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 blah. Like, all this could be avoided if you played rank with your friends. So just put it out there. Hey, I'm looking for a team for rank. You're not going to excessively get TK'd and harassed in casual.
Eugene, you are banned. You know why.
Trash bird, take it away. What's wrong with you?
That's another thing. Please don't bring back the trash bird.
The trash bird needs to stay in the trash. I was so happy when that was gone.
Although I spam that to my wife and my mother quite a bit, and it's kind of funny. But.
Also, just being a toxic shithole in comments is a good way to piss us off.
Yes.
I'm not. People are rude, and I have a really good way of turning you around and making you like me. But if you go around absolutely bashing other members of this community, I don't like banning people. I'm just not the person that does it. I don't like my ban hammer. It's rusty. It's very rusty, and it has a lot of dust on it. I will use it though. Don't make me. I don't want to. But don't be a fucking asshole. Like, why? What's the point? You're a keyboard warrior? Does that make you feel cooler? I don't understand. Stop it. Stop it. You just got mommed for a second.
We can't do anything about that, but that's something you can bring up to Ubisoft. Because again, we're not Ubisoft, so if someone is being rude to you in your game, you just have to report that to Ubisoft. And coming onto the page saying blah blah blah, report blah 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 because they did this, that we're probably going to decline it too. First off, there's no proof, and second of all, we're not Ubisoft, so it's just kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Right.
I think also, as far as post wise go, polls need to be closed 100%. And I don't mind the looking for team stuff. I don't mind like the hey, anybody on right now? Like that stuff's cool. That's primarily what we're here for. We're all trying to look for people to play with. I like the videos. Like post the videos up. Where we've been in talks for a while now of actually doing kind of like a highlight thing, or even just highlighting certain people's YouTube. So keep it up. That's how you get viewers. That's a good way. My other thing, my other biggest pet peeve, and this is just in general, will probably still approve you unless you get me, which I won't. If you post your Twitch, don't just post your Twitch and like call it a day. Tell me about yourself, man. Like, hey, I'm playing Siege. We're really funny. Blah blah blah. This is what I'm doing today. But like, write something. Don't just advertise yourself a little. Come on. You want people. There needs to be a reason for them to come. And if people hate on you, well, fuck them. We'll ban them. Don't worry about it.
A lot of people will post their Twitch channels and they won't get any comments or any likes because they just post
boring.
it and that's it. So just try to entice people to come in there. That's the only way that'll work. And also, what time of day you post that is gonna affect that as well.
Yeah. So we're trying to cut down as much toxicity as we can, but there's only so much we can do without your help as well. So like reporting these posts, understand that if you do report a comment, you need to report that comment, not the post. Because if you report the post over one comment, I can't see what comment you're talking about, and it looks like you're reporting a perfectly fine post. And I think that's been happening a lot lately, is that they're reporting the post, not the comment itself. So it looks like, well, I don't know why you're reporting this. This is totally fine. And it has 487 comments. I'm not reading through all of those. It's absolutely insane to find one comment that you think might be toxic. So report that comment for us. It makes our job a lot easier. So
another thing to be said about that really is it sucks,
hi,
but this community is toxic, let's be honest. So if someone comments on your video saying you're a noob or you're trash, we can't ban them per se because literally everyone says that on our page.
Right.
And it's toxic, but it's not to the point of where it's cyberbullying.
I think I say that to Rustin and Rachel all the time too. So I'm they're not gonna ban me.
It's rude. We are well aware of that, but we cannot ban.
I am trash, so it's all good. Like,
I call myself trash. What am I gonna ban myself? Oh.
When's the new map coming? December 4th is out right now on the TTS. You can play it right now.
Yeah.
or December 6th. I don't know. We didn't figure it out.
We miss you too, Doug. So yeah, December 4th is the new map. Continuing on with the what's the post. I think that there's a couple of things that we want to actually do with the page itself, and some of your ideas would be great. I know that I don't know if this is still the case. Are we still kind of looking for somebody to kind of pro bono do some graphics work for us? Guys, is that a thing still?
By the way, we're starting. I don't mean to interrupt. We're starting to get a lot more viewers because you forgot to pin it to the actual.
Ha ha ha! Go figure. Well.
So.
Oh, I guess we can go back and talk about some of the stuff we were talking about then if you're getting more people in here. So we talked about some tech stuff, the peripherals that were needed for. You guys can watch this video back; it will be up all the time. But we found that we had talked about what the difference between a pre-build and building on your own, the things that you'll need for that. Graphics card is a big thing, processor's a big thing, and memory is a big thing. SSD helps you with loading times.
Oh, and we
sometimes
never actually put down that the base spec for Rainbow to actually get a decent, like Xbox level graphics. Well, I'll say this: console level graphics on your PC is at least 2 gigs.
Shae is idle.
Have a good experience.
Thanks,
So,
guys.
Hey, Eddie, what's up?
That's kind of what you want to look for, is at least like a 2 gigabyte graphics.
Eddie, I'm
card.
here for Rachel too.
We already talked about a lot of things. We've been live here for an hour, so if you
hour and a
guys
half.
watch this, we have
Has
talked
it been an
about
hour and a half. Yeah.
We've talked about ways to come over from console to PC. We've talked about the new map, the new operators. We've talked about post approvals, and we have talked about peripherals, all our setup.
I really want to show yours again.
Kind of went over all of that stuff, and it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Some of the peripheral stuff can be sort of boring, but it is important. So what do you guys now that we have a bunch more people in here, what do you guys think about the new ops if you've been playing TTS? We had discussed that Nomad's a bit broken and needs some fine tuning to be nice to her.
I miss showing what we game on.
You noob. See, I'm toxic.
Just kidding. There's that too.
So yeah, the new ops I do think
find me a gamer girlfriend.
Yeah, well, me and Rachel are both married. So.
Good luck, buddy. Everyone's trying to find that.
What kind of eBay headphone do you have?
This is the oh god, that was bad. This is a Logitech G633 Artemis Spectrum headset. I think Shae just might have me turned down because she usually has me turned down in game.
He's so loud. I have Astras.
I have HyperX Callouts. That's one thing we didn't really talk about. Is
that's a good one. Let's do that.
HyperX is amazing. All of these brands that we all have are phenomenal. But they all kind of
Hi, Leonard.
Kind of all over the place as well. But like people who like back in 2010 used to be obsessed with like Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach isn't really a thing
trash cans. They're trash cans. They're the worst.
There's a lot of really great brands now that you can research that are way better than they used to be. You don't need to have this weird little Xbox headset that came with your Xbox. Definitely.
I do think
I had one of those too.
I do think that the one thing that you don't want to go budget wise on, peripheral set wise, you can definitely get a cheap keyboard. You probably want to get a good headset. The more you spend, in general, there are a few exceptions to that, but the more you spend, the better headset you get. Not saying go out and spend $500 on a headset. That's absolutely ridiculous. You're gonna probably want to spend more than $100 to $150 on average. 100, right?
My normal price are $100. I got these on sale.
Nokia headphones.
$70.
I think I got these for $99, but
yeah. HyperX Cloud 2 is probably one of the best $100 headsets you can ever get.
HyperX has a really good reputation for headsets. I'll give you that.
I still have my HyperX Cloud 2s, and I've been using them on Xbox because they work on any platform.
Do you mean
Corsair is another good brand
HyperX
too.
breaks easily, Pierce? Because I haven't had any issues with them breaking yet. The only issue that I've had with breaking is I've had my Razer keyboard actually break, but the warranty is 2 years, so I just got another one for free.
I feel like you raged on that thing.
I think I
She's like,
clicked really hard. I think I clicked way too hard on my shit. I'm not gonna lie, but
keyboard flip.
no, I don't.
Just you're like,
sorry.
ah.
Like, you know when you
So-
die in Siege and you press space to skip your kill cam, I'll be like,
Mine is I
direction am
slam my
doing?
mouse down.
I know
Like,
exactly what you
I'll
mean.
die over something stupid and I'll slam my mouse down like a bunch of times and like throw it off. I'm surprised I haven't destroyed this
Eddie
thing.
is asking for tips to get out of gold for a noob.
Uh,
I would
Play with a
definitely
team.
Get a team. Easiest way to get plat.
Mhm.
Plat is
Yeah.
actually, in my opinion,
Not that hard to
just
get.
glorified gold 1.
Yeah.
Plat
I'm gonna
3 is nothing special
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that because of playing with Shae all this time that we've been playing and listening to comments on or reading comments on Facebook, the first thought that popped into my head was get good, and I don't mean
I knew
in
that
any
was
way, shape, or form.
coming.
I only mean that in a joking sense.
I
But
know.
yeah, no, definitely, she's right. Get a team. It's the best way to do
The
it.
biggest thing too in this game is like you're not going to be good at the beginning of this game.
Right.
That's just the end of that right there. If you're complaining about being a copper, silver, bronze, gold, and you've just started playing the game for a couple hours, that's just how it is. The biggest thing to get good at this game is just playing it for a long time because knowledge is the biggest thing in this game.
Right. Knowledge and aim, like just win your fights. Yeah. Like I think one of the biggest quotes between the people that I play with is it's either learn how to aim, kid, or win your gunfights, bro. Like when we die, they'll be like, win your gunfights, bro. It's just winning your gunfights and doing it over and over again. Don't flip flop between ranked and casual because it's a totally different gameplay. So try to, if you want to go ranked, commit to ranked.
Right.
I also think that if there's a lot of booster services out there, if you use a booster services, you are going to be playing against players who are much better than you. You are not going to maintain that rank. If you don't play like a diamond, we all know that you're not really a diamond. Like it's very easy to tell a diamond player versus a plat player. They're it's obvious. So I have a preference. I prefer to play with like high gold, low plats. I just think that they actually enjoy the game and they're funner to play against. They'll do things that they're somewhat predictable, but at the same time, I'm like, ooh, that was a really good spot. I like that, So I have a preference. I hate playing with like plat ones and diamonds because they're all fucking tryhards and you have to really work for every kill and it's just exhausting. But every now and then you want to play like those tryhard games, and I'm fine with playing a tryhard game, but like I have a preference for the golds because they're not overly competitive.
I want to comment on Alden's here comment that he put up. God, I'm tripping over myself. What do you think about using mouse and keyboard on console? Now, this is
Cheating.
something that I want to lay to rest for the community as a whole, so that way everyone just understands it and we can all move on. 100% keyboard and mouse using on console for Rainbow Six Siege is 100% against Ubisoft's rules. No matter what anyone has told you, what anyone thinks, it is 100% against their rules. However, for them to understand and try to ban you for it is not an easy thing for them to do, because the input is the same as the controller because it connects to a controller, uses the software of the controller, and mimics it to the mouse and keyboard. It's very expensive to get into, and XIM is like, I think it's like $200, $300. I don't remember last time I looked. I think it was like $250. So think about it like this: if you're going to buy an Xbox One X and an XIM and a good mouse and keyboard, for all that money you just spent on all that, you could have just bought a PC and just been on PC. So it's really just pointless to do. I've played against a lot of, like, I have a buddy that plays mouse and keyboard. I've played against him and he's garbage. Sorry, buddy. I love you. But I mean, it's really not as good as people think.
All right, so let me jump on a soapbox here.
And it's not good.
Let me jump on a soapbox here real quick and just let you know. No, They have not gotten banned on actual ranked gameplay. I'll agree with you on that point. You don't play competitively, especially in the upper echelons of playing for a challenger league and upper echelons of Go4, where people will report you for that. They will report you for a mouse and keyboard, and they can check that. There is a software system that they can do that on. If you want to be a not legit console player and play mouse and keyboard, you're more than welcome to join the hackers that do that. That's fine, because that is the console's version of hacking. Secondly, it does not necessarily make you a better player. It can make it a bit more easy for you to aim and all that other stuff, but I have very good diamond players who play on Xbox that will kick your ass on a mouse and keyboard any fucking day and do it all the time. And they play legit controller.
Right.
So, thirdly, Xbox is coming out. This is my last point. Xbox is coming out with a mouse and keyboard conversion for other games. Siege is not one of that because Siege has already said that is cheating on console.
Yeah.
Period. So no matter what you say, oh, so and so's doing it, well, they're also doing a bunch of other shit that you're probably not doing either. So it's like when your mom used to say to you, oh, what are you going to jump off a bridge because your friends do it? Doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
One other thing back to approvals is if you post your diamond montage on playing mouse and keyboard on PS4, we're not going to approve it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to cause toxicity in the community. It's basically like if you're on a Smurf account shooting on copper players. That's what your gameplay is. It's not impressive to us. We're just not going to approve it. We're not going to allow the extra toxicity that we already have in our community. You guys already know we already have a lot of toxicity.
Michael,
So,
I do a road
to making your montage, but we're not going to approve it.
Right. Michael, I do a road to copper at the end of every season, and it's the best time ever because at that point I've already got my plat charm for the season. I give 0 fucks. It's about to be done. I am over it. All I want for the season of plat charm, and I do a road to copper, and it is the fun. I only ever get to bronze because it's so. Those players are hard. You have no fucking idea what they're gonna do. Like they make literally no sense. But I mean, I've literally gotten an ace with knifing them, so they have no clue what's happening. But they are fun to play against. Copper players are awesome.
Whenever I see coppers, I always picture like my dad grabbing a controller and trying to play Siege.
I do have a lot of like low end silvers and bronzes that are like, well, you're so good at this game. Is this a Smurf account? Are you a diamond? I'm like, bro, I'm barely a gold.
So I want to show this real quick. On console, this is what all you should need to play Siege and have a good time. Is this little thumb extender makes a world of difference with your aiming. I suggest trying that out for anybody that wants to be good on console. So just a thought. They're like
I've never even gotten a copper yet. I still like it's so wait, is copper under bronze?
Copper's the bottom of the bottom.
Yeah, okay. So I haven't even got I literally like getting to copper is my equivalent of getting to diamond. Like I want copper so bad.
Hard. You literally have to lose all 10 placements, and even sometimes then don't get copper.
But I was about to say in TTS we lost I think 4 and 1 6, and I still got placed to gold too. So I don't think it has to do totally on win-loss. It's also your KD during those games. I think.
Also has to do with who you play against too.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I don't know the algorithm for that.
I've always been gold on PC, and then I was.
You can't get adjusted to thumb extenders. I don't think that dropping your rank is cheating. I don't think I'm the only one that does it. Rustin thinks that it's cheating.
Let's be honest. Dropping your rank is toxic.
Oh, it's toxic as hell. I don't claim for 1 second to not be toxic while playing this game. I'm 100% toxic.
Oh, you were like the most toxic person to play with on Siege. That's just true.
I just make it fun.
You should see us when we play GTA. I don't mean to talk about another game, but you want to talk about real toxicity.
See, I wouldn't approve that post.
Trials to play.
Alden, we do have international admins. We have admins all over the world. This is just nighttime for America, so this is the people that were available to chat today.
We have England. We have Australia. We have Singapore, Malaysia, New Zealand.
Yeah, we have someone in Malaysia.
Yeah, we have them on like every or
We pretty much
South
have
Africa.
admins
Don't we have
all
it in
over the
South
place.
Africa?
Uh,
Or we did.
I think the closest we have is New Zealand.
I'm gonna. Stefano had a question about his graphics. Stefano, if you could, let me know what your CPU specs are, because everyone thinks that it's only your graphics card that matters, but your CPU makes a big difference. So when that catches up, I'll let you know.
Yeah. We need your CPU information too, and your information on what kind of graphics you're trying to run in Siege. Those are bringing up the point that FaZe looked at each other's screen during LAN finals. Ooh.
And that is not officially cheating according to Ubisoft. That has been addressed in other.
That's a pretty shitty thing to do.
It's been addressed in other finals and LAN events, and they're like Nesca is known for doing that. They'll drone him in. They actually literally turn their screens to him. There's been other. It is.
They allow that.
Yeah, there's no official policy via Ubisoft on looking at other screens. I think mainly because they cannot stop them from doing it. Like, how are you going to stop them? Put them in a cubicle? Hello? What? So there's no official Ubisoft policy on looking at another person's screen while playing in LAN, except for the opposing team's screen, which they are separated and they have a way to do that. So I think it's something that's being addressed via Ubisoft's like their LAN event people, but there is no official thing yet, so it's not considered cheating. So
it's on medium settings.
Well, there's so many settings that there could be. Like, for example, in display,
you're from Sweden.
There's a setting for your refresh rate, and if you have it set to 48
Zachary,
hertz,
thank you for that
hertz,
comment.
That'll keep your FPS low. You also want to make sure that your VSync is turned off or turned on and not set to double buffered, or I can't remember what it is in Rainbow.
There's like a frame cap too.
I think it's half. I think it's like on and then half in Rainbow, and then there's the frames cap. So make sure you have all that stuff off, and then your
Michael, yeah.
High.
But there's no ESL rule for that.
On why your frames are not the best. Another thing is to just check what your usage you're already doing on your computer right now. And an easy way to just do that off the bat is to just do Control-Alt-Delete, pull up your task manager, go to your processing usage, and you can see how much graphics you're using and how much CPU you're using. And if it's super high, 100, you can go and try to troubleshoot and see like if you have any other weird programs open on your computer that are bottling that down or anything like that.
Hi there, John. Said, hey.
So they said I thought you guys were playing Siege. We don't. I know that Rachel is an avid streamer, so you are more than welcome to check out. Is it just Rachel Boo on Twitch?
My Twitch is Rachel Boo. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put
Friday.
Her link is up there now, and then I will put mine. I don't stream as much, but I've been meaning to do it again. I just am lazy. But we both stream. I don't think Rustin, you don't stream, do you?
Do what?
No,
I do not.
Yeah. So those are our two links up there. So you are more than welcome to watch us.
I stream old games, not Siege. I stream different stuff, so it's not really relevant here.
And
what's up, John? It is me, Buckles.
Stefano, go ahead and send me a private message, man, and I can chat with you a little bit more with the settings. I didn't mean anything about your monitor itself. I'm talking about in game. There are specific refresh settings, but like I said, send me a message. I'll shot you some stuff, and I'll see if I can help you out there.
We did just cover the mouse and keyboard thing. Yeah, just to summarize that, we don't condone it on our page. That's pretty much that.
Shae, you know of Vikings of Rainbow Six? I don't know. No, I don't know what you mean. Alden, I don't know what you mean. Vikings of Rainbow Six? No.
If any of you guys are new here and you want to hear anything about the new operators if you're on console, we can inform you. If you guys have any questions about what goes on in the page, that's what we are here for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So just to cover, if you are just joining, if you rewatch this podcast, you'll find about tech stuff is the first thing we spoke about, just peripherals and actual specs for a PC if you want to switch over, and the difference between consoles and PCs. We discussed that a little bit. We talked about the new ops. We talked about the new map. We talked about the patch notes, some of the stuff that were in the patch notes, and the misconceptions of the stuff that people thought were in there but actually weren't in there. And then we talked about some of the stuff on the page that we've been seeing problems with and wanted to discuss. And then we also are reaching out and asking for your help if there's something that you would like to see us as a page do, or you would like to be a part of. Please let us know. We are more than happy to take suggestions, and we kind of run with those. We have a lot of people that help us out that do a lot of different things in their everyday life that can actually be very beneficial to what the page is doing. As long as you guys want it, we will try our best to get it if it's within reason. So, yeah.
And would you guys, I mean, I know someone mentioned, I thought you guys were playing Siege. Like, would you guys be interested in watching us play Siege? Because,
They would
I
be
mean,
interested in watching
we
you play Siege, not me.
I mean, we could do live streams of the admins playing Siege, but I don't know if the community would even be interested in that. But whatever you guys are interested at, we want to hear. We want to make the community more fun for you guys. So any ideas, any competitions, giveaways, any ideas you have for the page, definitely shoot those over to us, and
Yeah.
we'll consider it.
I
So
think we'd have
Zach.
a lot of fun. You just have to keep in mind that sometimes when we play, there's a little ear rape that happens because we all scream. Especially Shae.
Zach.
I do stream every week on Twitch, but I just play with my friends. So if you guys are interested in seeing the admin team play some games, we would definitely be down for that. So.
Oh God.
Is the Zowie EC2 a good mouse? I honestly, I don't know that mouse. Feel free to drop a link and I can take a look at it. But honestly, any mouse is good for Siege if it's something you're comfortable with.
Right.
I have heard very positive things from Zowie from pro players and a lot of good players that I know. So I think that it's highly recommended, to be honest.
So Zach wanted to know what inspired you to start the page, and how do you feel towards having more followers here than most YouTube channels?
Feels good.
We weren't the ones who actually started the page. Our supreme leader, Eugene Quicks, he's the one who started the page. I think he just started it in like the beginning, like in Siege's inception, in order to find a team.
Yeah, I think it was 2016 or
no, 15 is when the page
was
is. Yeah.
When the game first came out, and originally was just a page mainly for like
looking for
his region of players, and
yeah.
it just kind of took off for everybody and became a big thing. And I think people recommend their friends to come to this community over other communities, wink wink, that are really way more toxic than ours. So I think it's really cool how much this page has grown.
And I think it's a testament to not only you guys spreading the word about the page, but also just like the hard work from the admins and mods to keep it as little toxicity as possible, and the ability now for us to be able to do stuff like this, where we get to just sit down and talk with you guys, I think is one of my favorite parts of being an admin now. Because it can be kind of tiresome just going through and constantly approving posts and banning people and approving members, and it is tiresome. So I like the aspect of getting to talk with you guys, and actually you see that we're humans, not just ban hammers. And yeah, we're people. And we love this game just as much as you guys do. So I think that being able to do stuff like this, and we'll have more of these talks. We'll do more of these sessions. I would just like to hear what you guys want to hear about, and then I can set some stuff up with all different admins. I know Rustin's here a lot with me. I think Rachel's going to be doing these a lot with me as well, and that way we can get a lot more of the admin team out there to you and show you who we are, what we're made of. I think doing a game's fun though.
Member of the month. I think that is a good idea as well.
I like that.
What kind of benefits you would want from that? And also, Facebook literally gives us a person who has commented the most, had the most posts, had the most engagements per month. We have a number one person on our list of who that is. So it depends if you kind of want it like that, or depends how we would judge.
I like that
who is the
idea. That's a
best.
good idea.
I've got some
Now, that is a
ideas
cool
about
idea.
what we could do for that. So we'll see. We'll pin that.
I like that.
Who was that? Zach that asked about the mouse. Honestly, and Rachel and I have both thrown this out there that we use the same mouse, but the Logitech 502 is one of the best mouses bang for buck. Because I think right now you can get this mouse. Well, Shae is salty at everything, but
Razer.
you can get this mouse for $50 now. It's gone super down on sale. And I think since it's Cyber Monday at the moment, you can get it for even cheaper. But you really can't beat it for the price that it is.
It is not Cyber Monday. What universe do you live in? It is
Amazon
Saturday
is doing
night.
Sorry, Amazon is doing Cyber Week.
It is Saturday night, my guy. You need to go
We
now.
haven't gone over yet. Zachary brought up, how do you feel about the cosmetic changes and how Ubisoft reacted to the community's opinion about it? So, if you guys all haven't
Oh, yeah, that's a
seen
good question.
recently in the TTS patch notes, Ubisoft announced that they're taking away the aesthetic changes that they originally announced, like, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? Maybe?
Yeah,
And
the
I think that that's really
lighting.
cool because Ubisoft, people don't think that Ubisoft doesn't listen to their community, they only listen to pro players, when clearly they have changed so much stuff just from the community, like seasons, like dumb stuff people put on Reddit, like make Blitz do this, and they literally change it, like what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, so I think it's really cool that Ubisoft listened to their community and was like, we'll take this back because you guys have had such a strong opinion on this. That being said, I am myself excited to bring Chinese players into this game, not only because there's a billion of them, it could bring so much more growth to this game, but it could bring so much growth to this game as an esports, because Ubisoft has been working so hard these past seasons to try to make their Ubisoft or make their esports like grow, and it's kind of struggling to grow if you watch it. So I think that would be really cool to bring that into there. But they delayed the season because of it. The delay is not going to be very much, if any at all. The only thing that was delayed recently was in the TTS. They delayed the maps being brought in because they were changing them back to how they were before, which they are back in the TTS now.
Wait, is Customs back in there? I haven't played it.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played TTS in like 2 days, but
Yeah.
I know all the maps are back for sure, and Terrace Hunt is back.
Yeah. I like the idea of TTS. Just I do wish that they had it for console. I'll be honest with you, because I think that would be. I see why they don't. But I do think that I like the idea of TTS. It gives us an idea of and Ubisoft openly asks for your feedback on that. Like, what bugs are you seeing? What would you like fixed? What do you think's good? Like, they want to know all that stuff. So they do listen to us. And if enough people can get together, and that's a great platform for this page itself, because you have over 150,000 people who are on this page reading it. And if you see something, you could probably have at least 100,000 of them contact Ubisoft if you do it correctly. And, so you guys could get the game changed if you had enough people behind your back and it was proper. So it's a good platform to stand on. Oh, customs are back on TTS. Good, because I want to play a custom game so bad. I just want to walk around the new map.
Damage Cade's thing does. I really want to look that up.
I just remember that one time where I was like hitting the garage door, and I took like I think it was like 25 or something. It was ridiculous. I was like, holy shit!
Insane that I was like, this is not fair. But
why do people care about aesthetic changes? So the aesthetics. Okay, so one of the aesthetics was they took a lot of the lighting fixtures had changed in some of, like, especially in Oregon and in and most people didn't really notice that, but it was a big buff to Valk, because instead of being like an actual fixture, it was like a wire that hung out of the ceiling essentially and had a light on the end of it. And if you threw a Valk cam perfectly on that, you couldn't see the little blue dot. Like, there's those aesthetic changes are game changers. And
a lot of people were mad because they weren't aware of what was actually happening. A lot of people thought that blood was being taken out of the game, and their favorite things about the game were being taken out of the game, when really it was just small aesthetic things that were changing on the maps.
Right.
And then other people were mad because they're like, we shouldn't have to.
I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed blood taken out.
Well, they reverted the changes, but the only blood that they were taking out is on the map. When you spawn into the map, there's random like handprints of blood on the wall and smears. That's what they were taking out. But people thought they were going to take out the blood when you shoot people and when people are down but not out, and that wasn't happening.
That was kind of.
And people also care about aesthetics changes solely because people don't like change.
And people are like, I bought this game and it's 18 plus, and we shouldn't have to be able to change that. China, blah 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 blah. China's democracy. People were just going on crazy rants. But the thing is that Ubisoft was okay with
blood splatter was going to be taken out.
No, it was not going to be taken out. It was just the things that were on the map. But the point is, it's getting taken away anyway. Like Ubisoft is taking this back because they're listening to what the community had to say about it.
Right.
Zachary says, "Do we have any plans for the future of the page?"
There are some things in the work.
We do. But we would also like your opinions on what you would like to see in the page. But we do have stuff in the works for the future, for sure.
We have a lot of stuff in the background that's going on. It's just some of that stuff takes a while to kind of figure out the logistics of and whether it's actually going to work. And, you know, a lot of us go through and have our certain opinions on it, and then that changes the way it works. And so there's a ton of stuff going on in the background. It's just kind of and this is not a full-time job for any of us. This is all a second job. I mean, I work 60 hours a week.
This is like a third because I've got 2 kids and a dog and a crazy wife. So
I don't have a job, so that's why you guys see me all the time.
So I mean, like, I have 2 kids. I have, you know, a family, and I work 60 hours a week. So this is not a full-time situation for me. So a lot of that stuff takes a little bit longer if it were a full-time job for all of us. None of us get paid to do this. We do this out of the kindness of our own hearts. And we enjoy being a part of the community. So
hence why I'm at work right now.
So
we did a while back make a post that we were looking for Rainbow Six clips to create a montage for our monthly montage, and this is a brand new thing that we're trying to bring out in the community. It was a post that didn't get a lot of love, so we'll definitely repost that post and see if people are interested in keeping that going, because we would like to make a fun little montage of everyone in the community, giving them credits for their videos and everything like that.
And it's a good way to boost your YouTube page. I mean, again, you have a platform with 150,000 people. If you advertise it correctly, you can actually do some pretty good stuff, get some really good viewers on Twitch or whatever. So if you have a community that you're trying to create via Twitch or YouTube, it's a really good way to get your videos out there and let people see what you're all about.
We love you, Zach.
You gotta go now. Thanks for watching. How about that?
And if you guys are interested in seeing these type of admin talks, let us know your feedback on this, because we don't do this often, and it's kind of a thing to get us all together. So if you're enjoying this podcast and you want to see it more, definitely let us know.
we as admins here, we live so far apart. It is really nice to kind of get for like at least 3 of us that are here now, but in the future hopefully we have some more people that can make it. But it's just really nice to get together a little bit closer with everybody, you know, especially because I work nights until like 2 a.m. What time is it for you now, Rachel?
8:53.
8:53. Oh, we're in the same time zone.
It's 11. Cool. It's 11 for me.
But yeah, so you know, it gets pretty late, so I usually don't ever see anybody. But it is kind of nice for us to be able to get together. So we'll probably do this a lot more often, hopefully.
Phil, Shae for a long time was working on doing interviews with pro players for a couple months there. They were doing it as
I'm still in talks with a lot of the pro players.
If you go back on our pin post, we have an interview with Pengu. We have an interview with Laxing. We have an interview with Bikini, even though YouTube's not a pro player, but we have a couple interviews with different pro players that you can check out. Not Kanto, but I'm sure Shae could magically put that together.
I'm working on Kanto. I'm working on Goga. Goga is my favorite pro player. I love watching him. He's my favorite, hands down. I would love a Goga interview. I'm working on Kanto and Goga. Eunice, and Terrobang I've been in talks with, Foxe and Goddess I've been in talks with. It's just the problem is that there's a ton of Pro League stuff going on. And I know that like a lot of the C9 people just moved into a new house, so they've got all of that going on. Setting up these interview times with these people have been really, really hard. Kix knows about me. He knows I'm coming after him, so it's just a matter of getting him to actually respond to me. He knows though. And then there's a couple of other people who are on my radar that I would really like an interview with. The only thing is some of them are there's a language barrier there, so I can't necessarily talk with some of the Brazilian ones because they speak Portuguese and I don't. So yeah. Yeah. So
All stuff in the works for you guys. So
yeah, we're working on it. It's just that a lot of that there's a lot of logistics that come in that because there's time zone differences and my work schedule and their work schedule, and it's a logistic mess. But I am still working on most of these pro players. And luckily, I think having some of these interviews with certain pro players, I've literally been able to go to like Pengu and be like, hey, by the way, so and so will respond to me. Help a girl out. So yeah.
I think as a whole, unfortunately, Facebook lacks as a gaming community like platform. I think one of the bigger platforms is Twitter, Reddit, Twitch,
Discord.
YouTube are really big platforms for Rainbow and for gaming in general. I think Facebook kind of lacks on that. So we definitely kind of want to grow and do some new things with this Facebook community.
And luckily, because of your guys' activity, we have been noticed by Facebook, and a lot of the changes that have been implemented in the actual Facebook itself have come from our admins sitting down and talking with Facebook corporate and saying, this is what we need, this is what we want. And so there's been a lot of really positive changes that have happened to Facebook groups because of the big group that we have currently and how well you guys have been. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I think one of the things, hopefully, that'll be coming soon is explaining why your post was denied.
Yep.
So I really like that. That way, they have the chance to actually fix it and get their stuff out there if they want. So.
But the coolest thing too
Hi,
is to add to
Baryon.
that is right now we are still the largest Rainbow Six Siege gaming group on Facebook, and that's thanks to everybody that we have.
Yay. You guys rock. So I know I'm kind of big in following the Pro League scene. Philadelphia, who's our favorite Pro League players? Mine's Goga. I like watching Goga and Goddess. I am an anchor player at heart, so they play a lot of my mains, and I like to see how they use those mains. So those two would be my favorite. What about you
See,
guys?
and I differ so much. I'm not. I'll watch the occasional pro league match, but I really enjoy more of the meme side of Rainbow. So, Bikini Bodhi is Bikini, and we had him on. He is and always will be my favorite guy to watch screw around in Rainbow.
Yeah.
His humor just giggles me to my core.
What about you, Rachel? Who's your fave?
I definitely like Goddess because
girls.
well, hello. But I mean, any G2 players, like, come on, like they can't even compete. And I liked watching the Fnatic guys too because they're just really cool and funny dudes.
Yeah. I do think it's I love the fact that we have finally, and not even that it matters, but we have a female Pro League player. I think that's really pretty amazing. Because it's never there's been female Pro League players in other games, but not in Siege so far. It's been so male dominated at this point, and the best part about it is she's holding her own. If you look at the stats, Goddess is rocking it. So, big ups to her. We're huge fans over here. She's awesome. And she's super nice. So,
Yep.
so yeah. All right. Well, I guess that'll be it. Make sure you guys let us know what you want to see or talk about in the future. We do kind of watch the posts and see what are trending as far as our posts go, and how they get answered and whether they're answered properly. And it is always, I have like a whiteboard on right here that you guys can't even see it, but I have like a whiteboard over here that I write down different posts that I think were good or interesting or need to be further explained, and I go and research all that stuff for you guys. So, or people that you want to see and all that. So, yeah, I'm listening to you guys. Don't worry, we're all out there watching. Yeah, we're all out there watching, and we want to give you what you want.
Is you can't see the pin posts unless you actually click on the group, but we have a ton of good information in the pin posts. We have the patch notes for the TTS, we have patch notes for this season, we have information on the new operators, we have past interviews, we have rules for the group, we have stuff about merch, we have surveys. We have a ton of stuff in these pin posts, so definitely check those out if you haven't seen them before.
Yeah,
absolutely. And never be afraid to message one of us directly if you ever have a question you don't want to ask.
Don't message us directly. Don't listen to Rustin. Do not message our personal pages. We have a Rainbow Six Siege community actual fan page that you can like the page, follow it, and then message the page. All of us do message you back, and it is one of us. If you want a particular one, we are all in a group together, and it can say, hey, Shae, so-and-so wants to speak with you. Hey, Rachel, so-and-so wants to know about this. That's more your aspect. We kind of all know each other. We've been friends for a while now, so we know. Like, that's why I wanted Rachel here, because she's a big tech person. She knows about computery stuffs and that stuffies. I'm known as, like, the Pro League guru. Like, I'm the one who knows about most of the orgs and all that other stuff. Rustin is just hairy.
Wow, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Rustin's really in with like the consoles and all that other, like he still goes between the two of them and stuff. So I mean, each one of us have our own little particular thing that we like about the game and what we focus in on. So message the page. Do not message me personally. I will not respond back to you.
I'm gonna say, and the only reason I said that, I was gonna say I do not mind being bothered through personal message if there's some sort of harassment going on. If you need help and you don't want to be typing to the entire admin team, if you want to talk to someone directly, I don't mind being bothered personally, because I like to help in those situations. So I'm always there if you need it.
Just message the page.
Or
Let's just
okay.
umbrella
it's
this.
Okay.
Message the page.
Fine,
also, if you don't
page.
know already, we do have that fan page. I don't know if we have anybody admin wise on here that wants to link our actual page. So we have the group that you guys are on and can post to.
Watching the video right now.
We have the page also. Yeah, so make sure
this video is linked to the page.
You hit that page up, give us a like and a follow, or whatever they call it on Facebook, and yeah, it's some great information. So anytime new stuff comes out, we put it out there. And that's where you'll get to see these videos, get notified when we go live, all that stuff. So be a part of the page. Yeah. So yay.
And add us all on Uplay. Our Uplay names are right below us. Feel free to add us. Hit us up with an invite. I love playing with new people, so.
I also did link me and Rachel's Twitch in there, so if you want to watch either of us play, make sure you hit the follow button, and you will be notified when we go live. And Rachel streams way more than I do. I need to get back into it. I really do.
She's amazing.
She is awesome.
She's phenomenal.
And she's so funny and nice.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
And she's really good at the game. If you watch her, you'll get better. If you watch me, you're just gonna laugh. I'm just fun.
If you watch
I try to be a sweaty tryhard when I play, so.
I like when I get to play with Rachel, she sweaty tryhards, and I just make everybody in the room laugh.
Hey,
so.
It's not my fault. Shae likes to use me as bait.
It works though. You're great meat shield.
I'm a good
Can't
meat
help
shield.
it.
It's true.
So, yeah, I am so grateful for you guys all coming and watching. We will have another one of these. Please let us know what you think about everything, and we will be signing out. Again, I am Shae. We got Rachel and Rustin. These are our Uplays down here. And make sure you comment. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.